Looking after ourselves might seem selfish, but it is actually the opposite. If we look after ourselves, we are in the best shape to look after others. What we do to look after ourselves might differ from person to person, but may include accessing counselling, talking to friends, exercise, eating a nutritious meal, meditation, or having a massage. Self-care is a commitment to yourself and helps build resilience.
To sit in the guilt or sit in the my fault wasn't going to help the situation. That was huge. I think that was a really big thing. Did those guilts and things still come up? Absolutely. But really, that understanding that this is not my fault and this can happen to anyone was a bit of a relief. I didn't seek counselling because it wasn't my problem. Well, it was my thought pattern. Why would I need counselling? Somebody else has got the problem. It didn't really enter my head. A lot of the time, I believe that carers don't even realise just how much they're suffering because they're so busy trying to solve the problem. Never love anyone or anything greater than the love of yourself. It was painful and it is hard and it's not an easy journey. But to actually take care of yourself is, and that's what I would say to carers. Get education, get support, get help, and taking care of yourself is the most valuable thing that you can do for your person. It is not an intertwined journey, it is a side by side.
I could be happy. I could live and breathe again. When my loved one is good, I'm good. But when my loved one is bad, I'm bad. That still happens, but what I've learned is to change my own thinking, my own perceptions and expectations. I'm able to breathe. I can breathe now. I look to the future of what I want to do rather than, my gosh, what's going to happen to my loved one. Yes, I've come an incredible way on my journey. I know it's still going to keep going. There's no end date on this at all. I think through the journey you need to change. What I needed at the very beginning was just someone, anyone to hear and acknowledge me. And I've found that, and I've worked through so many things.
I started slowly to try and seek some help for my state of mind. I did focus more on making sure that I took care of myself. So just health-wise. I think that the most supportive thing was really the learning of taking care. You know that I take care of myself as much as humanly possible, which didn't mean that I didn't still go through the anxiety and the pain and all of that. Now I've gone for more counselling and I've come to understand things more. I've got more formal support. So I'm actually more strong and more resilient within myself.
Setting boundaries is really important as well because you get so consumed in it. In taking time for self-care because it's really a lot. It's a lot for anyone, especially a teenager or a child or an adult that's got care burnout. So setting boundaries, being assertive and self-care were my 3 skills that I had to learn and to implement in my everyday life as a carer. Just sit, you relax, you do anything on that day. That kind of what you feel like you need to do in terms of self-care. Even if it's 15 minutes, it's better than not doing anything at all.
I can't just stop and stay where I am. I need to completely rebuild and learn how to live and be okay with things, how they are now. Services are there, and that it's not just for the loved one, that there's something there for you, because I think that if I had found that early on, I think the journey would have been much different, much, much different. Forgive yourself. Dealing with or coping with the loss, though it's not really a loss, but it's what could have been, and accepting what is now.
Sometimes people fear judgment or have a sense of shame, and this can deter them from accessing services. Some carers can feel like they are stuck and have nowhere to turn. These emotions are common. Carers have not caused their problems, but have to problem solve in the best way they can. It is easy to become focused on a loved one and forget about doing things for yourself. Many carers feel burnt out and feel like the small tasks they did to support themselves may be useless or unimportant. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Accessing support and addressing one's well-being is important. Pain and anxiety are going to be present even if you're receiving support. However, the suffering that comes from the experience of pain and anxiety can be decreased through engaging in and accessing support in different groups. While you cannot change the reality of the situation, we can choose the way we address it and to decrease the struggle we might experience. Being a carer can be challenging. However, you do not have to be alone on the journey. As discussed with the experiences of people in this video, there are several services available that meet the different needs of carers. Their stories have highlighted the benefits of reaching out for support, and these have included opportunities to learn coping strategies, build social connection, and to have a focus on oneself and well-being. When you access support, you will have professionals and others with a shared understanding to connect with to help you along the way.